Morning students. Today we are going to discuss the topic law of independent assortment. Law of independent assortment. According to this law, independent assortment means separation only. Assortment means separation. One gene can be separated from the other independently. Don't want to see the other one independently. One can be separated from the other. Suppose two contrasting characters. Last time we had learned that the seed color and seed shape. Seed color, yellow was the dominant one, and the seed shape, round was there. So the gene controlling round shape is capital R, and gene controlling color of the seed is capital Y. Capital R can be separated from Y. Capital R can be separated from capital Y, and it can be go with the capital Y or small y when assortment takes place. Understood? So in the dihybrid cross, the phenotypes round, yellow, wrinkled, yellow, round, green, wrinkled green. 4 phenotypes appear. Are you remembering? In dihybrid cross 9:3:3:1 ratio got which are phenotypes? See that the round yellow, wrinkled yellow, round green, wrinkled green, like that 4 color got round yellow, wrinkled yellow, round green, wrinkled green. But here, two parents only be selected. They are with the character round yellow and wrinkled green only. Round yellow and wrinkled green. So, two parental types are there. Which are the parental type? Round yellow and wrinkled green are the parental type offsprings. And two new offsprings are formed. They are wrinkled yellow and round green. Wrinkled yellow and round green. They are produced in the ratio 9:3:3:1 that already we had learned in Mendel dihybrid cross. Such a ratio was observed for several pairs of characters that Mendel studied. The ratio of 9:3:3:1 can be derived as a combination series of 3 yellow, 1 green with 3 round and 1 wrinkled only. That is 3:1 ratio. The ratio of 9:3:3:1 can be derived as a combination series of 3:1 ratio, that is 3 yellow and 1 green, when it is considering as a monohybrid ratio with yellow and green. Only one character only there, no color of the seed. So it is a monohybrid ratio. Then what will be the combination? 3 yellow and 1 green means 3:1. Like that for shape of the seed also, when it is considering as a monohybrid ratio, 3 round and 1 wrinkled. This derivation can be written as follows. 3 round is to 1 wrinkled, 3 round is to 1 wrinkled, 3 yellow is to 1 green. This derivation understood? 3 round, 1 wrinkled, 3 yellow is to 1 green. Means 9 round, yellow 3, wrinkled and 3 yellow wrinkled and yellow, 3 round green and 1 wrinkled green. That is the 9:3:3:1 ratio. So in dihybrid cross, 2 monohybrid cross are there. Which are the 2 monohybrid cross? One is round and wrinkled, that is the shape of the seed. So as it is caring only about one character, it is a monohybrid cross only. Its ratio is 3:1. And next one is another monohybrid cross is the color of the seed, that is yellow and green. Color of the seed. So in both of them are monohybrid cross, so the ratio will be 3:1 in both the cases. 3:1 to 3:1. So when these two monohybrid cross combined as a dihybrid cross, what will be the ratio? 9:3:3:1. How it will be? 9 round yellow, 3 wrinkled yellow, 3 round green and 1 wrinkled green. Based upon such observation on dihybrid cross, that is the process between plants differing in fruit traits. Based upon such observations on dihybrid cross, process between plants differing in two traits, Mendel proposed a second set of generalizations that we call Mendel's law of independent assortment. Mendel's law of independent assortment. based upon such observation on dihybrid cross. Dihybrid cross. Ratio was 9:3:3:1. Mendel proposed a second set of generalizations called the Mendel's law of independent assortment. This law states that when two pairs, the definition see that when two pairs of traits are combined in a hybrid, segregation of one pair of characters is independent of the other pair of characters. When two pair of traits are combined in a hybrid. Here see that which are the two traits. One is color of the seed. Which of the two colors? Yellow and green. So one pair over. Another pair is shape of the seed. Which are the contrasting characters? Round and wrinkled. These are the two pairs of traits. Understood? Two pairs of traits are combined in a hybrid. Segregation of one pair of characters is independent of the other pair of characters. Is independent of the other pair of characters. The Punnett square can be effectively used to understand the independent segregation of the two pairs of genes during meiosis and the production of eggs and pollen in the F1 RR plant. R, capital R for round, small letter R for wrinkled, capital Y for yellow, and small y for say, small y for green. So this is the hybrid plant. F1 plant is a hybrid because mixing of characters are there. Capital R is representing the round shape, small r is representing the wrinkled one, and capital Y is representing the yellow, and small y is representing the green color. Now consider the segregation of one pair of genes, capital R and R. Suppose R should be separated from capital R should be separated from small r. Capital R should be separated from small r. 50% of the gametes have the gene R and the other 50% have small r. 50% of the capital R is separated from small r. Segregation means separation. So segregated, capital R is segregated from small r. Understood? Capital R is separated from small r. So 50% of the gametes have the capital R gene, other 50% having small letter r gene. Let it be like that for capital Y and small y for. Then how it will be? Capital Y is segregated from small y. 50% of the egg is getting capital Y and 50% of the other one is getting small y. So it should also have the allele Y or Y. The important thing to remember here is that, see that this is a main point. Segregation of 50% capital R and 50% small r is independent from the 50% Y and 50% small y. This is segregation of 50% of the capital R and 50% of the small r is independent from the segregation of 50% capital Y and 50% small y. First, capital R is separated from the small r, so 50% gamete getting capital R, other 50% is getting small r. And coming to the capital Y, small y. So here also capital Y is segregated from small y. So 50% of the gamete is getting capital Y, other 50% is getting small y. So here the important thing to remember here is that the segregation of 50% capital R and 50% small r is independent from the segregation of 50% capital Y and 50% small letter y. Therefore, 50% of the R bearing gamete has capital Y also, 50% of the small r bearing gamete has capital Y, and the other 50% have small y. So R can be joined with the capital Y or small y. Small r can be, now capital R and small r separated, that understood? Now the small r can be joined with the capital Y or small y. Understood? Like that, capital R can also be joined with the small y or capital Y. Understood? So 50% of the R bearing gamete has capital Y and other 50% has small y. Similarly, 50% of the capital R bearing gamete has capital Y and the other 50% has small y. Thus, there are four genotype of gametes, that is four types of pollen and four types of egg are there. So there are four genotypes of gametes. Which are the four genotype of gametes? The four types are capital R, capital Y, capital R, small y, small r, capital Y, and small r, small y. How these four got understood? First, capital R is separated from small r. Now this capital R can be joined with the capital Y or small y. That is independent only. Unlike that, small r also can be joined with the capital Y and small y. It is independent. It has to be joined with the small y or capital Y is independent from R. Understood? So, four type how it is formed. Capital R joined with the capital Y, capital R joined with the small y. Like that, the small r can be joined with the capital Y and small r can be joined with the small letter y. With a frequency of 25%, there are 1/4 of the total gametes produced. When you write down the four type of eggs and pollen on the two sides of a Punnett square, it is very easy to derive the composition of the zygotes that give rise to the F2 plants only. So these four types, that is capital RY, capital R small y, small r capital Y, small r small y, each with a frequency of 25% or 1/4 of the total gametes produced. When you write down the four types of eggs and pollen on the two sides of a Punnett square, it is very easy to derive the composition of the zygote. That already we had learned in dihybrid cross that give rise to the F2 plants. Although there are 16 squares, how many different types of genotypes and phenotypes are formed? Note them down in the format given. Can you, using the Punnett square data, work out the genotypic ratio at the F2 stage and fill the format given? Is the genotypic ratio is 9:3:3:1. That is the assignment giving to you. You also have to find out using the Punnett square data, work out the genotypic ratio at the F2 stage and fill in the format given. That is 16 square. Is the genotypic ratio is 9:3:3:1. And write like this: genotypes found in F2 and their respected phenotype also. You have to find out and see that 9:3:3:1 is maintaining or not. The same is given in the practical book also. So this can be write into the practical book also, and you want to write also. So two experiments are based on the Mendel dihybrid cross that both you have to complete there. So now I will show you some slides regarding with that. The slide is say that the law of independent assortment. Now we are taking law of independent assortment only we are given theory. So when two pairs of traits are combined in a hybrid segregation of one pair of characters, when two pairs of traits are combined in a hybrid segregation of one pair of characters is independent of the other pair of characters. This is the definition. Don't want to forget. Law of independent assortment is a very important topic only. Many times asked by the board itself, and this lesson is having high weightage also. So when two pairs of traits are combined in a hybrid, how it will be? Capital R, small r, capital Y, small y. Understand? So segregation of one pair of characters is independent of other pair of characters. Capital R can be separated from small r, but does not want to say that Y likes or not likes. If capital R wants to separate it from small r, it will be like that. Capital Y can be separated from small y. Don't want to bother about capital R and the small r. The capital R and small r genes segregated and capital Y and small y gene segregated. Now, capital R gene can assort with Y. After separation, The capital R and R genes segregated, like that capital Y and small y is also segregated. Now, capital R gene can assort with the capital Y or small y. It is independent only. Now, R assort means join. The independent assortment only means join independently only. Now, capital R gene can assort with the capital Y or small y. Y can assort with the capital R or small r. In RRYY plant, segregation of 50% R and 50% small r is independent from the segregation of 50% Y and 50% small y. In RRYY plant, segregation of 50% R and 50% small r is independent from the segregation of 50% Y and 50% small y. That is very important only in a hybrid plant, that is capital R, small r, capital Y, small y plant. Segregation of 50% capital R and 50% small r is independent from the segregation of 50% Y and 50% small y. Thus, there are four types of genotypes: RY, capital R, capital Y, capital R, small y, small r, capital Y, and small r, small y. You see that these four types are there. Which are the four understood? Capital R, capital Y, 1. Capital R, small y, then small r, capital Y, small r, small y. In the next slide, we will make these are four gametes only. These four gametes we are getting from the male parent, and four gametes we are getting from the female parent only. So 4 into 4, 16 offspring will be formed. The 16 different combination can be formed. So this is cell hybridization only. So this capital R, small r, capital Y, small y plant is hybridized with the same plant only. That is capital R, capital Y, small y plant only. Understood? This is independent assortment. See that this is independent assortment of chromosome is shown here. Homologous chromosome can be line up in two ways during metaphase of meiosis only. This diagram is taken metaphase only. Chromosomes are seen there. Independent assortment of chromosome only shown here. On the chromosomes only genes are present. So here red and blue color is there. Dominant and recessive, both of them are there. Red dominant, red recessive. Blue dominant, blue recessive. So two are getting. From that, blue is separated and red is separated. Understood? Blue is here. Blue separated, this one blue separated, here red separated. Then what is happening? Here, this is separated in such a way that red is separated in such a way. And here, blue and red is combining. In any way, it can be combined. Red it is combining, here red and blue will be combined. Then it will be getting such a way. So this independent assortment of chromosome understood or having any difficulty? Independent assortment. So this is the independent assortment. The homologous chromosome can be separated. This is red and blue only. It is shown for different characters. Two different characters are represented by red and blue color only. Here, red, blue is separated from the red. Blue is separated from the red. Now it can be joined with anyone. Blue here, blue is joining with the red. Here blue is joining with the red. Here red is joining with the blue. Here red is joining with the blue. And here blue is joining with the, here blue is joining with the blue only. Like that capital R can be joined with the capital R. So blue is joining with the blue is showing capital R can be joined with the capital R. And here capital Y is joining with the capital Y. And here capital R is joining with the small y. And here small r is joining with the capital Y. Like that, four different combination of these are representing four different combination of gametes. So all of you understood. Law of independent assortment. What is the meaning of independent assortment? Assortment means joining again. First it will be separated. At the time of gamete formations, alleles of the genes are separated. That already we had learned in one law of gamete formation. Law of purity of gametes already we had learned that. And afterwards, when it is settling, then how it can be segregated, how it can be joined independently. They can be it means that the capital R can be joined with a capital Y or small y. It is independent only. It is not like that always capital R should be joined with the capital Y, like that it is not there. The meaning of this theory is that only. Like that always the small y joined with the small r is not there. It can be joined with the capital R also. Capital R can be joined with the capital Y and the small y. Like that. Small r can be joined with the capital Y and the small y. It is independent only. Understood? Now we will be go to the textbook. So independent assortment only we are learned enough. Now we are going to the next topic, that is chromosomal theory of inheritance. Anyway, the meaning of inheritance, every one of you knowing that characters are transferring from parents to offspring. It's called inheritance. Characters or traits are passing from parents to offspring. Who are carrying these characters? Genes are carrying this. Genes are basis of inheritance. Genes are carrying characters or traits from parents to offspring. So, chromosomal theory of inheritance is that Mendel published his work on inheritance of characters in 1865, but for several reasons, it remained unrecognized till 1900. Firstly, communication was not easy as it is now in those days, and his work could not be widely publicized. Nowadays, how much publicity is getting, like that publicity was not getting on those days, because communication, social network was not improved so much. How it is improved, like that social networking was not there. So communication was not easy in those days, and his work could not be widely publicized. Secondly, his concept of genes or factors in Mendel words are stable and discrete unit that control the expression of traits and of the pair of allele which did not blend with each other was not accepted by his contemporary scientists as an explanation for the apparently continuous variation seen in nature only. So what was the problem faced by the Mendel? Firstly, first reason is that the communication was not easy. Nowadays, how the communication was there, like that it was not easy in those days, and his work could not be widely publicized. Secondly, his concept of genes are stable and discrete units that controlled the expression of trait of the pair of alleles which did not blend with each other. He said that in a pair of allele, one is dominant and other one will be recessive only. Blending he didn't discuss. That is the second reason. These reasons were not accepted by his contemporary as an explanation for the apparently continuous variation seen in nature. Thirdly, Mendel's approach of using mathematics to explain biological phenomenon was totally new and unacceptable to many of the biologists of the time. Why statistics, a part of math, should be used in biology, like that many of them were not accepted. Mendel's approach of using these three reasons were there. First reason, social networking was not improved how it was today. The second reason is that he thought that the genes were stable and discrete units. There is no blending with each other. So he considered the concept dominant and recessive only. Blending of genes or blending of chromosomes he didn't consider. And third reason is that Mendel's approach of using mathematics to explain biological phenomena was totally new and unacceptable to many of the biologists of his time. Finally, so Mendel's work suggested that factors were discrete units. If he could not provide any physical proof for the existence of factors or say what they were made of. Finally, so Mendel work suggested that factors were discrete units. He could not provide any physical proof. He didn't give any physical proof for the existence of factors or say what they were made of. Because of these reasons, in 1900, three scientists, who are they? De Vries, Forens, and von Schirmer independently rediscovered Mendel results on the inheritance of characters. Because of these 2-3 reasons, afterwards in 1900, 3 scientists, what are the name of the scientists? De Vries, Forens, and von Schirmer, independently only, not combined work. These 3 are independently rediscovered Mendel results on the inheritance of characters. Also by this time, due to advancement in microscopy that were taking place, scientists were able to carefully observe cell division. This led to the discovery of structures in the nucleus that appeared to double and divide just before each cell division. These were called the chromosomes. Chromosomes were invented. Colored bodies as they are visualized by staining. By staining. So, what will be happen? These 3 scientists rediscovered the theory put by the Mendel. Advancement of microscopy. When Mendel discovered this, all then microscope also was not there. So, on the credit is fully going to the Mendel only, even though other information got by other scientists, because that time microscope also was not there. So, after advancement in microscopy, electron microscope and all invented. By that scientists were able to carefully observe cell division, which is cell division. Cell division were observed. This led to the discovery. Cell division, through the microscope, they had seen the cell division. This led to the discovery of structures in the nucleus that appeared to double and divide just before each cell division. These were called the chromosomes. By 1902, the chromosome movement during meiosis had been worked out. Walter Sulton and Theodore Boveri noted that the behavior of chromosome was, 2 scientists were there, Walter Sulton and Theodore Boveri noted that the behavior of chromosome was parallel to the behavior of genes and used chromosome movement to explain Mendel's law. So the important things to remember are chromosome as well as genes occur in pairs only. Why? What is the reason by which chromosome and genes are occurring pairs? We are saying 23 pairs of chromosome only. We are saying, we didn't say that up to now, we didn't say like this. 46 chromosome like that. Biologically, it is not saying. Biologically, it is wrong also when we are saying human being having 46 chromosomes. We are always saying 23 pairs of chromosome only. Always chromosome are seen in pairs because we are getting in one pair, one is called a homologous pair only. The pair which is controlling one trait is called a homologous pair. In that pair, one chromosome we are getting from the paternal side, paternal means father's side, and the other one we are getting from the maternal side, mother's side. One from father and one from mother. Like that only pair we are getting, like that 23 pair of chromosome we are having. And approximately 30,000 genes are possessed by these 23 pairs of chromosomes. Human being having approximately 30,000 genes are present on these 23 pairs of chromosomes. The 2 alleles of a gene pair are located on homologous sites. The 2 alleles of a gene pair, 2 alleles means capital R and a small r, capital Y and a small y, capital T and a small t. So the 2 alleles of a gene pair are located on homologous sites on homologous chromosome. That only is shown here. Is very simple diagram only. This diagram also you have to draw along with this answer. See that the 2 chromosomes only represented like this. Homologous chromosomes are there. See, so it is now G1, G2, all of you are remembering, we had already learned in 11th. Coming to the meiosis one, that is anaphase, yellow color, and this brown color, and this red and green color only. Now what will be happen? They will be separated only. See, this yellow one will be separated. Like that, this red one also separated. Here, this orange color also separated and the green color also separated. Why it is separating? At the time of gamete formation, alleles are separated. One gene only entering into one gamete. By this, bivalent structure will be separated. Now it is 2 are there, means bivalent only, chromosome only shown there. Now this one will be separated. All the four separated like this. Now understood by the reason of separation. Gamete formation is there. Now what will be this gametes? Four type of gametes, so it is formed the seed. It is only four type of gametes. Now one was only there at the G1 phase. Now it become bivalent. The two are there, then it is called two chromatids are there, then it is called the bivalent. Meiosis bivalent, and it is meiosis to anaphase. It is showing. Okay. So here we are getting a comparison between behavior of chromosome and genes. So occur in pairs. Chromosomes occur in pairs. Genes are also occurring in pairs. Both of them are occurring in pairs. Only the reason I already told you that segregate at the time of gamete formation such that only one of each pair is transmitted to a gamete. Segregate at the gamete formation and only one of each pair is transmitted to a gamete. Independent pairs segregate independent of each other. Independent pairs segregate independent of each other. One pair of segregates independently of another pair. One pair segregates independently of another pair. Independent assortment is. So segregate at the time of gamete formation such that only one of each pair is transmitted to a gamete. Only one of each pair is transmitted to a gamete. Next one is independent pairs segregate independent of each other. Independent pairs segregate independent of each other. Next one is occurring pairs segregate at a gamete formation and only one of each pair is transmitted to a gamete. One pair segregate independently of another pair only. This is the difference between a comparison between behavior of chromosome and a gene only. A chromosome and a gene.